Good morning. It's Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. Peace is a path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this morning, Governor Fubara dismisses rumors of defection from PDP. NBA demands apology from APC's Tony Okocha. NLC president gives new date to answer police summon as Labour threatens strike. On the foreign scene, former U.S. President Barack Obama calls on Americans to back Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Details of these and more after the break. Welcome back. I'm Ifechuku Moyele, and here's the news in detail. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says, contrary to some media report, he and his supporters remain the genuine members of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State. Governor Fubara said this while addressing members of the Board of Trustees (BOT) of the PDP who visited him at the Government House in Port Harcourt on Tuesday. The governor said the visit of the BOT members and some founding fathers of the party has put to rest the falsehood peddled in some quarters over his membership in the party.
I was having any doubt about my membership first of this great party. I think today I've gotten a reconfirmation, and I want to thank you for taking all the trouble to come to Rivers State to see the governor and the supporters. What is important this afternoon is that we are still members of the party. So for those people outside who are carrying all sort of rumors and propaganda, I mean, this visit will rest those propagandas.
The chairman of the PDP BOT, Adolphus Wabara, spoke to newsmen after the meeting.
And we've been properly briefed. There is what they call fact checks. We'll go to the other party and then we'll hold a meeting and we'll come up with a solution. We'll come up with recommendations to the National Working Committee. It doesn't matter whose ox is gone. As far as the PDP under my watch, we will go constitutionally and ensure that peace reigns, because PDP is the party to beat in 2027. If we miss it again, as we did in 2015, 2023, then Nigeria is gone. So we want to put these things.
Our correspondent reports that the meeting was attended by several founder members of the PDP, including Bode George, Ahmed Makarfi, Prince Uche Secondus, and Celestino Mejia, among many others. Meanwhile, the Rivers State Commissioner for Housing, Basorene Benibo, has launched the digitalization and automation processes of the Greater Port Harcourt City Development Authority. Speaking at the official launch, Mr. Benibo, who represented Governor Fubara, said the initiative will boost the ease of doing business in the state.
We have come to launch the Greater Port Harcourt digitalization of their operations. Permit whatever you want to do, you can do it online, and that is the automation and digitalization. You interact with the people at a distance. Very easy to move from one agency to another agency and to all the ministries, the MDAs. We will have this automated system of working and developing the state. It reduces corruption and it's a very fast way of getting approvals. So it's an acceleration of our operations.
On the spot, the acting administrator of Greater Port Harcourt City Development Authority, Tonto Davis, said the process will also increase efficient management of data and the economy of the state. Dr. Davis, who is also a town planner, expressed appreciation to Governor Fubara for creating an enabling environment for the agency.
What we are doing here is something that will benefit not just the state. Economically, to increase the GDP of the state. Why? Because the ease of doing business. It's a tool that we have brought into place to manage the urban system. We have a lot of land we have allocated here. We don't even have any data. It means that we're going to pick all our hard copies that have been there, begin to convert them and digitize them. The automation is the sense that from now on, anybody that wants to do anything with a building plan approval, fencing permit, whatever it is, just go online, do your application, and you get your approval.
Our correspondent reports that the newly launched website is gpha.riverstateapps.ng. And now the Nigerian Bar Association Port Harcourt branch has asked APC's Tony Okocha to apologize to the judge of the River State High Court, Justice S.H. Aprioku. Mr. Okocha had alleged that the judge was bribed and biased against the defendant in the suit brought by some APC chieftains against the party's CTC in the state. It also asked Mr. Okocha to also apologize to Justice C.N. Wali and Justice G.O. Olo, who, it said, have not taken any steps in the matter pending before them to warrant Mr. Okocha's comment. Chairman Port Harcourt branch of the NBA Cordelia Eke, alongside chairman of the 7 NBA branches in River State, made the call at a briefing in Port Harcourt yesterday. Mrs. Eke said litigants cannot pick and choose which judge a matter should be assigned to, nor can they cast aspersions on judges just to have their way, as that would lead to a chaotic judicial system.
The Nigerian Bar Association cannot, in all sense of responsibility, ignore such a blatant affront to the judicial system and the legal profession in general by the unfounded labeling of a judge as a bribe taker. We, the chairman, hereby condemn the public statements of petitioner of Chief Tony C. Okocha and call on him to immediately retract his statements denigrating the judiciary in Rivers State, which he referred to as a supermarket in quotes. And we are calling on him to tender a public apology to the respected judges of the High Court of Rivers State.
Mrs. Eke also said the appropriate steps for an aggrieved and dissatisfied litigant is to go on appeal against the judgment and not to resort to name-calling and the use of abusive words against a judge.
The appropriate step for an aggrieved party and dissatisfied litigant is to go on appeal against the judgment and not to resort to name-calling and the use of abusive words against the person of a judge. Judges are apolitical and operate by a strict code of conduct which shields them from unnecessary interaction with the public. They are therefore not expected to engage in making political pronouncements, but to adjudicate cases brought before them based on the facts and evidence presented by the parties. It is for counsel in the matters to present the cases of their clients appropriately.
Moving on, the Port Harcourt City Local Government Apex leadership of the Simplified Movement says by the law of natural justice and fair play, Port Harcourt Federal Constituency 2 should produce the next mayor of the Port Harcourt City Local Government Area of River State. The group said it has reached a 10-point resolution to strengthen a cardinal objective of the governor aimed at enthroning peace in the state. This is contained in a communique issued at the end of their meeting held on Monday. It was signed by the Chief Medical Director of the River State Hospital Management Board, Bright Obonda, a former member of the River State House of Assembly, Jones Obonda, 2 former members of the River State Road Maintenance and Rehabilitation Agency and current members of the Port Harcourt City Local Government Interim Management Committee, Kinikanwa Amadi and Obams Ojima, as well as a former PDP chairman of Faga Ikichinda. Now, they said the process has been the dynamic political convention of the people of Port Harcourt since 1999. The caretaker chairman of Omoma Local Government Area, Promise Reginald, has flagged off the construction of the office of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps and Council Secretariat of the traditional rulers in the area. Speaking during the flag-off, the CTC chairman, Promise Reginald, said he would ensure the completion of the project. He also commended the NSCDC in the state for not being partisan.
Government. I also want to assure each and everyone that visited here to support to ensure that this project gets to completion. Also thank the head of NSCDC for trying in restoring peace in River State and not being a card-carrying member of any political party, for standing for the truth and nothing but truth. God will never cease to bless. destabilize its honorable and female citizens. Unlike your counterparts who have used themselves as a weapon to intimidate the people of Rivers State. So I want to thank you once more. So now.
In their remark, the Ezomoma Onyekachi Amowo and River State Commandant of the NSCDC Basil Igwebweze spoke.
It's remarkable in the annals of history, despite the very tight schedule of the cream of personalities here, you found us deserving to be honored and respected by attending this historic groundbreaking ceremony for our new office.
Leadership is not position, it's not title, it's how you take care of your people. For making it possible for us to gather here. This is a historical event. Cannot say further without thanking our governor, His Excellency Sir F. Fubara, the man of the people. I also thank the leadership of Omumo, the commissioner, the CTC, and all the leadership.
In other news, the Fadama Development Project through the River State COVID-19 Action Recovery Economic Stimulus (RIV CARES) has flagged off the fourth phase of the distribution of agricultural input and assets to poor and vulnerable farmers in River State. Speaking to journalists, the state project coordinator Kingsley Oguzie Amadi said the initiative is to increase food production and supply across the country. Mr. Oguzie Amadi, who's also the head of RIV CARES Result Area 2, tasked the beneficiaries with judicious use of the items.
The items distributed to them, whether they are inputs or assets, are not for sales. It's to empower them to increase food production in the state, thereby enhancing food security to our populace. And if they put in their efforts to utilize the assets and inputs given to them, it will increase the amount of food that is available for us to use in the society. Because if you have more food being produced, definitely the price will reduce. It's a matter of demand and supply. When the demand is high and the supply is low, there will be increase in price. But when the supply is high, definitely the cost of items will come down.
Some beneficiaries express appreciation for the empowerment materials.
I got fish and fish feed to help me build up my farm. Then after I finish the first sales, I will restock again, and with this now, it will feed me, it will feed my wife, it will feed my children, it will help us sell at a very low rate, then we'll restock.
This initiative, it will really help we farmers. Me, waiting and they give me na goats. And before you know, my goats now, the two of them go born. And when they don't born, you can imagine what it will become in the next 1 year or 2 years to come.
I receive bird with fowl food. I go train birds. When them big, I go sell them, get money, pay my pikin school fees. So I thank RIV Care. God bless them well. They don't change my life for me.
The empowerment initiative was flagged off by the Commissioner for Agriculture, Victor Key, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Ogul Morris. Still to come, NLC President gives new date to answer police summon as Labour threatens strike. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The chairman caretaker committee of Ahoda West local government area of River State, John Daddy Green, is welcoming Speaker of the pro-Fubara lawmakers, Oko Victor Dubo, leader Sokari Goodboy Sokari, Dennis Warman, and the PDP chairman in Ahoda West local government area to the Ahoda West Empowerment Program and sharing of palliatives on Wednesday, August 21st, 2024 at Akinima Primary School Field by 12 noon. A statement by the Ahoda West CTC chairman, Daddy Green, said during the program, 7 cars will be presented to his CTC members, 3 for the proposed SBAC and 2 Hilux for the JTF and Nigerian police. According to the statement, 50,000 naira in cash will be gifted to 140 persons and 150,000 naira will be gifted to 13 persons. He also said that 800 bags of gari and 800 bags of rice will also be disbursed to individuals from the communities. He said the gesture is aimed at eradicating poverty in the area. And now the caretaker committee chairman of Asaritoro local government area, Orolo Sama Amakri, has approved the appointment of a special assistant on logistics and procurement and a senior special assistant on religious affairs with immediate effect. In a statement, he said the appointed SAs include Omiete Barangotaria and Nibi Ngoye Jakris. The chairman also instituted the Asaga Revenue Committee headed by Wilfred January as chairman and Clifford Darabo as secretary. Barifima Gift Obene, Ikroma Osoma, Barango Secretaria, Philip Over Whiskey, Idoni Boye Diki Bujiri, Sokari Omona, Moritala Adewusi Adigun, and Abide John are to serve as members. In other news, the national president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, says he will honor police invitations on the 29th of August and not the 20th as demanded by the police. In a letter addressed to the police on Wednesday, his lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, said the NLC president had a fixed engagement for August 20th before the police invitation was sent to him on Monday. Earlier, the National Executive Council of NLC, after its meeting, threatened to go on strike nationwide if the police detained its president. And now on the international scene, former U.S. President Barack Obama gave the keynote speech at the Democratic National Convention last night. He said America is ready for a new chapter under the Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris, coining what may be a new chant for her campaign. Yes, she can. Now that's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Governor Fubara has dismissed rumors of defection from PDP. And on the foreign scene, former U.S. President Barack Obama has called on Americans to back Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris. The news was edited by Chioma Ezewafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.